Donald Trump wins the presidency of the United States. He is now going to be called President-elect Donald Trump. He's walking up right now. You see him right there. He's going to be speaking momentarily. He's got his wife there. History has been made. Jake, this is a moment a lot of people are going to remember.
I was happy.
I got numb for a while.
I thought it was a joke.
I tried to think of a lower point for our country.
I was elated.
Complete disbelief.
I think I could say thankful.
I had a lot of mixed feelings.
In a way, I kind of thought it was all right.
Devastated.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe it. I'm still so emotional. It's been almost a year.
Like a lot of people, I didn't think he had a chance at all. I thought it was just a joke, to be honest, which I still think is a joke. But
I don't know, I think I was like the rest of the country, like, this has got to be a joke,
Felt like a joke.
you know. But obviously there was fear too.
I actually liked Ted Cruz better, so I had to change my views and start leaning more towards whether or not it was going to be between Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And obviously I'm not a Hillary supporter, so I had to change my views on what I thought of Donald Trump.
Just horrified that this person even had credibility with a large population.
Was that even known at the time? I mean, when he first started running, did you think it was just a publicity stunt?
It was like a joke and kind of a thumbing his nose at the system and our government and our way of life, I guess.
Did that fear well up and grow as the primary?
As went on and on, it felt more real, more and more real, and then it got scarier.
you know, I spent the year before that living overseas and watching the election from afar, and people were just dumbfounded. You know, other countries just couldn't understand what we were doing.
Which countries?
I was in Ireland, and you know, I would watch it, and that's all their news was our election. You know.
How did you respond as his popularity continued?
I just kind of growing horror and just amazement that anyone would take this person seriously.
When he won the nomination, did you think he had a chance of beating Hillary?
No, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
So, and did you have that belief all the way up to Election Day?
All the way through Election Day.
I was elated.
Were you surprised that he won?
No. No.
Even though all the...
You forget, I'm in Minnesota. We had Jesse Ventura that shocked the world, you know. He wasn't going to make it either.
But all the polls said Hillary was going to win.
I think they all, I think they said like CNN, and I don't watch CNN much anymore, but they said, I think we've underestimated him. You didn't just underestimate him, you really underestimated him.
Tell me about election night. Did you stay up to watch the results?
Until it became apparent that Trump was probably going to win.
Was it hard to sleep?
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it
Because
was
of the fear, like, it
just
makes you
thinking
uncertain.
about everything that led up to that is like,
Did you two talk about it, like digest it?
yeah. Not a ton though, I guess.
Mm.
Kinda, like you said, got numb. I've never seen him so quiet in my life. That week after, didn't talk. I mean, I think he was just processing it.
How did you respond when you found out that Donald Trump was going to be the next president of the U.S.?
At first I was a little afraid, but then as a way I kind of thought about like maybe a good president to make people get on top of their business.
Oh, to help motivate?
And help motivate.
Did you stay up to watch?
Yep, I watched it.
Were you by yourself or with
I
friends?
was with my friends and my parents. Some people were pissed, and then my other people was more like, oh yeah, he might be a good person to motivate the country.
Did you vote?
Yep.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for, I didn't vote for him, I voted for, who the fuck did I vote for? I didn't vote for actually either one of them, to be honest. For Hillary or Donald. I voted for the other, no, in fact I did. Matter of fact, I think I did vote for Donald Trump. Yeah, I think I voted for Trump. I didn't remember, like it was a last minute thing.
I thought the whole thing was a joke. As soon as I seen that it was him versus Hillary, I was just like, it's kind of like Idiocracy, the movie, just like
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Exactly.
it's like a puppet just being controlled by like the Illuminati or something.
I voted for the Green Party. I forgot her name, but I did vote.
I can't vote.
Nope.
I voted for my dog.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You wrote him in?
I wrote Zoe for president.
I'd laugh if you got more than one vote on the party. That would be really good.
How did you two react when Donald Trump won the election?
Well, we were, I think I could say, thankful.
Okay, did you have did you feel relief too, or?
Yes, I was thankful.
Well, I felt that God gave us a president that would that is more God-fearing, and in that sense would do more good to the country. But we try to leave that all in God's hands, because He's the one that He puts in the government. He takes them out according to His will. So if it would have been otherwise, we would have wanted to accept that as well.
Sure.
But we were thankful that it seemed like we got a president that has a little more fear of God.
Because it was so apparent to at least half the country that he maybe mentally wasn't fit for office, that now there's a bunch of fear because of what the president has the capability of doing now. What's going to happen to our friends of color? What's going to happen to our neighbors that are, what's going to happen to, and because that the country was just like injected with this unknown.
It's really hard that following week just to, I wanted to be mad, but I also lived in my parents' house. And you can't, you gotta respect their space and their decisions on their own too, so it was.
And you said it was your stepfather? Did he rub it in? Did he gloat?
No, but he was definitely proud every time we tried to bring it up or talk about it or help him see the light. It was hard to convince him otherwise. And,
right.
He wasn't convinced otherwise. He's a Trump supporter still, and.
So, did you watch the election coverage that night?
Yeah, I did.
Were you alone or with family or friends?
I was with my husband.
Okay, and were you at your house?
We were. Yeah.
Okay, at your home.
I'm just starting to cry.
So take me through that night. So you were watching the election coverage. It got to be later and later, and.
I can't believe it. I'm still so emotional. It's been almost a year. Just sick that our country would take us in this direction, and that this man was a viable, and people wanted him.
As the clock ticked about midnight, 1 o'clock, when those states were coming in, like Florida, Ohio.
Complete disbelief, complete and utter shock that this could even be happening. It was bad, almost like performance art, because how could this even be real?
What was the mood like in your home?
Just like we had lost some of the most precious things.
Was it silence, or was it like yelling, or?
Very silent,
okay.
like we'd been punched in the stomach. And it was just visceral and
Was it hard to sleep that night?
It still is hard to sleep. It's still hard to sleep. This is not the America I believe in.
Did your husband react similarly to you?
Even he did the yelling.
Okay.
He did the yelling.
You think Trump had a chance to win?
Well, I did. I really did. And the reason for that is I never go off of polls too much, because I believe that most people will sway the polls the way they want it to go.
Okay.
So when you look at the crowds that he was turning out and talking to, versus Hillary Clinton, there was something there. He was drawing in way more people than she was.
Do you remember where you were election night?
At home. I did not. I went to bed. I get up early. I get up at 4 in the morning, so I was like,
Who were you home with?
me, my wife, and my son.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were they watching or?
No, we all go to bed about the same
Okay.
time.
So take me through that morning. You turn on the TV and.
I turned it on and they said that Donald Trump had won, and I did, yeah. You know, yeah. Maybe we can get back to a country that's fiscally sound.
How did she respond, your wife?
She was a little more excited.
What did she do?
She kind of jumped around a little bit and gave a little howler, but I believe it was a good day.
The first thing I thought about was the comment, grab him by the pussy. And I said, that's our president. I tried to think of a lower point for our country, and I couldn't think of one. You know, we have someone this misogynistic, this sexist, in my opinion, racist also. My girlfriend was sitting next to me, and she was kind of shrinking into herself because she's been victim of that kind of talk and that kind of stuff before, and I just can't imagine what goes through a woman's head when they see Donald Trump on stage leading the country. So I was embarrassed, to be honest. Not embarrassed to be American, obviously, but embarrassed that this is what we're offering the world right now.
How did others respond at the bar?
Anger. There was one guy that just stood up, slammed his stool. And this is a nicer place, not like a dive bar or anything like that. He stood up, slammed his stool against the bar, and then just walked out.
Huh.
And there was only 2 people in there that were Trump supporters. They were wearing Make America Great Again or whatever. They were wearing those hats, and obviously they were happy. They weren't obnoxious at all. They were just ordered their drinks and went to the pool table, and that was it. But it got pretty quiet after that other guy left. So
phone the next day.
And what was your immediate response?
We did get it, and I was like, "Oh man, we're all in trouble now. What we're going to bring to the table, though, is he is what he is, a communist or whatever people want to call him. Is he with the Russian people over there? Is like."
Did you vote for the president last year?
I didn't even take the time to go vote. I waited the whole day, and everybody was asking me, "Are you gonna go vote?" Like, no, I'm not. Like, why not? Like, because I don't want to vote for him. That's why.
What about voting for someone else?
It just wasn't. It wasn't the year to vote. Like, because it was just like bad. That was it.
So you didn't like Hillary either?
No.
Who did you dislike more?
Trump.
But you weren't motivated to go vote for Hillary either?
No.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just because I wanted Obama to go again, like for another term. So that's why.
So, if Hillary would have won, would you have been upset too?
Yep.
Yep. So it was a no-win for you, was it?
So that's why I didn't care to vote at all. Yep.
So at what moment did you realize Trump was going to win? Was it that night or was it the next day?
Like right when he started campaigning.
You knew he was going to win?
Practically, yeah, because like he's rich, white, and yeah. Because I kept it up on the news and everything, like because I used to watch my grandma. So.
And how did she respond?
She didn't like it too. She was like, "Oh, that damn!" Like, yep.
What did she say?
She was like, "Oh, that damn guy! Like he won!" And like, yeah. So.
She was mad. She wanted Hillary to win.
Yep.
Your grandma?
Yeah, and my grandma isn't even here today, so.
Oh, she passed?
She passed away, yeah.
I had a lot of mixed feelings because I'm like, I didn't really feel like Donald Trump was a great candidate, but I didn't really think Hillary was either. So I was like, I was more Bernie Sanders, but I was like, at that point I was like, I don't know who to vote for. So I mean, it was So we were just like, I voted, but I eventually voted for Hillary.
Like that hope, like when you're watching a movie and like everything is so stressful, but like the movie's not over yet, like something's gotta happen, like. And then you see the
credits and you're like, no.
Right, exactly. So just that moment of suspense and then disappointment instead of fulfillment. I couldn't believe that people in this country could let the harm that he may or may not intend just be brushed under the rug. Not so much before it. I mean, I'm sure tons of people aren't for it, but it's not a deal breaker.
Would Hillary's victory have fulfilled you, or were you just hoping to avert Trump?
Oh, I was going for Bernie from day one, but when that was, no longer. I think that had Hillary won, it wouldn't have been a victory dance, but it would have been the lesser of two evils.
It would have been a relief?
Yes, it would have been a relief.
Okay, phew. We can go on now.
Right, we can deal with the still issues in a more holistic manner.
First off, right up, that man is a billionaire. And the first thing he said was, I'm paying for this myself. I'm not taking any money, and I cannot be bought. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. He laid everything out, and I get so upset with people not understanding how he talks. Yeah, he's kind of a loudmouth at times. So am I, so I guess I understand the lingo. But he was for the people. The other part of it is, he's not a politician. He's a businessman. Yeah, he's filed bankruptcies, biggie deal, And I figured if they run it like a business rather than how they've been running it, maybe things would be better. I'm always looking for a better way. I came out of the 60s, and I never thought in my life I would ever see a black man become president. I cried the day Obama became president, and yes, I voted for Obama. My dad was a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat, but he always told me, he said, you don't necessarily vote the party, you vote the man. Who's done more, who's got a background, who can maybe do more, who's got a better campaign. I really believe the man's heart is in the right place.
Because he was trying to keep out more immigrants, so better for us.
Okay.
In a way, as a band member.
Uh-huh.
For people, American Indians.
Yeah.
When being Native American, him talking down, and then Columbus did supposedly discover America, but yet we were the first ones here too, but yet he's sitting there talking about sending us here, sending us there, and that's the main reason why.
Because you got the impression he was racist or didn't like people who weren't white?
Yep.
Maybe it's just the way he worded things or things that he said that I felt didn't really sit well with me, so I was
Did you feel threatened by him?
Not so much threatened. I think I don't know. I think it was just more like certain things that he said offended me in a way, but, that's about it.
He's just a horrible, horrible person, and not what I believe in, and not what I think our country believes in.
It seemed like Trump had higher morals and was professes to be a Christian and is opposed to some of the things in the country that we believe are wrong.
Such as?
Abortion, gay marriage, some of the obvious ones, there might be more.
I didn't want 4 years of Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, I believe, is just a liar. She'll say whatever she can to try to achieve a political gain of some sort for herself.
I think I did vote for Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't want a woman. I mean, I wanted a woman, but I didn't know what the woman, how I think, not saying how women think, but I think women think from the heart a lot. So I think that she would have been a good and a bad president at the same time.
Girl president, I was thinking, and I was baffled or whatever, so I wasn't too sure about that.
I think that a lot of people from my culture is afraid to push themselves, and they afraid of what would happen if Donald Trump stays president for the next 8 years, and they don't want to. I feel like a lot of people be lazy and don't want to push themselves and motivate themselves to do better in life. He'll motivate people to want to get up and go to work and try to find a career or something, As being a commander sometime and a chief in any aspect in life, whether it's gangs, school, principal, whatever, I think that you should never bite your tongue on how you feel, because then people look at you worse when things do come out like that.
I told my friends that were Trump like me, once he gets there, he's going to find out the Hill don't work the way he thinks it does. and he's going to have a lot of trouble. And he has. They fought him from the day one. I really believe that if they just give him a chance, Trump will show at the end of the road. He's already got, and I've heard two different versions of this. The reason that the stock market is up is because of him. The other reason is, well, it's because of all the shit that's happened before, all the stuff that happened before to get to this point, the laws that had to finally take into effect. I would like to believe it's because he's in there and have made changes.
At least as I had time to digest it, I think what I'm sitting with is that people feel the system is broken.
Yeah.
And they at least that's what I'm hoping, is that they'd rather take a flyer on Donald Trump than, I don't know. And only till now recently, like, am I starting to get back on the horse as far as like community things and like,
Okay.
and it making me feel more like on the local level is much more important. You have to because he's in there for 3 more years.
Yeah, right.
There's nothing you can do about it now. You got to like start from the ground up.
I know a lot of growers do have worries that Trump might not support weed. I don't see why he wouldn't. It's money, and that dude's a great dude.
Money.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
The biggest concern with me is, the financial state of this country, and if we can run it more like a business, like he's trying to do, I mean, it must be working. We're breaking, stock markets are setting record highs.
Honestly, in my life, even up until not very long ago, it's just like taboo to talk about. It is.
What is taboo?
Oh my God, I don't even say it like in my daily life. Like, who is president right now? I don't talk about it.
Oh, so you just like.
I just avoid it.
Just don't even talk about it. Just don't go there.
Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, here in the Pacific Northwest, not that we're immune to anything, but I feel like so far it hasn't affected me as much.
Is that a surprise to you? Did you think within 6 months of his presidency, you would be feeling negative effects in some way?
Being female, being female, not being black, I thought that I would feel it pretty immediately, and I know that my female community definitely has. I have as part of a female community, but me personally, individually, I haven't. And I feel like the same with being black. Personally, me in my own life, it hasn't affected me, but me as a member of my black community, I have felt a difference.
It's been almost a year, so do you at least take some relief in knowing that the country hasn't collapsed or things haven't been as bad as you imagined them to be?
Well, I see how many kids got kicked off of health care. I see the whole thing with North Korea escalating. I don't feel safe. I don't feel that we're in a good place. I think violence against minority populations has increased, and there are populations that think it's okay to be hateful and violent, and nothing is done. It's not condemned. It's encouraged almost, I think.
Well, we've made it 1 year. Do you think we'll make it 3 more?
I hope he isn't around. I'm surprised he's lasted this long.
I have a problem with the wall. I don't care how high you build it, how long you build it. They dig tunnels too, so that may not be the answer to that. This is the melting pot of the world. Why is everybody having so much hate and animosity for people from other countries coming over here, Syria, Sudan, the Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, all those that are coming up with ISIS and the Al-Qaedas. They're coming in with the regular people. So maybe we need a little closer vetting for that. You don't want to just invite anybody and have them come over here and kill us, But I think that it'd be, like I said, it's a melting pot of the world. Why does everybody hate everybody? That's what really hurts me these days. There's so much hate, We need to throw a little more love in this world.